fuck it, let's get controversial. Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10. Let's talk about top 10 best things or good things in the Star Wars prequels. Yes, I thought this would be a cool video to do because, you know, Star Wars is upon us. The Rise of Skywalker is coming out in a few months. There's a lot of rumors going around about Star Wars and George Lucas and a lot of craziness when it comes to Star Wars. It's almost like borderline irritating to be a Star Wars fan now because there's just a lot of negativity with Star Wars on both sides. With the left and the right, the Star Wars lovers, Star Wars haters, and it's pretty irritating. So I thought, you know what, fuck it, let's be controversial and just let's talk about stuff that a lot of people don't want to talk about. I'm going to talk positivity about the prequels. Even though I don't like the prequels, I thought I'd talk some positivity about the prequels. And then in my next video, I'm going to talk some negativity about Disney Star Wars movies. Yes, this video is the top 10 good things in the Star Wars prequels, and the next video will be the top 10 bad things in Disney's Star Wars. So yeah, let's get to it. Coming in number 10 is Count Dooku in the Star Wars prequels. Yes, Count Dooku, played by Christopher Lee. Count Dooku is actually a really cool character. I love Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee never gives a bad performance. Come on, this guy was Karst the Mummy. He was Count Dracula. He was frickin' Saruman from Lord of the Rings and stuff. He was really cool roles in many Tim Burton movies, and then just it's Christopher Lee. This guy went through a lot, had a cool life, and he was a perfect choice to play Count Dooku, one of Palpatine's Padawans and stuff, and the way he, you know, how he trained General Grievous, and just the way he manipulates some of the Jedi, and the way he can really kick some serious ass sometimes, like how he owns Anakin and ObiWan, despite how awful that fucking fight sequence is. He's a pretty cool character. I really enjoyed him. I wish there was more to his character. You have to actually watch the Clone Wars show to get more into his character, and he is a lot more interesting, but as for the movies, the prequel movies go, I wanted more of Dooku. And I liked that he trained Qui-Gon Jinn and stuff. I want to know more about that and that history with him and Qui-Gon and stuff, and why he left the Jedi Order. You find out more in like the Star Wars books and again in the Clone Wars show, but I still wanted to know more about Count Dooku in the movies. But from what we got, we still get a cool character, and yeah, I enjoy Count Dooku. Coming in number 9 is John Williams' score. John Williams' score in the prequels is so good. Like, it's John Williams. Like, you're not gonna get a bad score from the man himself, John Williams. He is one of the, probably, if not the greatest film composer ever. Right there with James Horner and many other people, the Sherman brothers and stuff, and Bernard Herrmann and everything. Hans Zimmer, like, so many great composers, Jerry Goldsmith. I'm gonna stop name dropping now, but still. I love the score in the prequels. I think they're really good. They're very dark. They're very cryptic, but also very fun, energetic. And of course, the greatest one we got was the that's probably literally the most entertaining Star Wars score ever. It's not the best, but it's easily the most fun and most entertaining. And just, yeah, it's John Williams. When you have John Williams, you're gonna get greatness. Coming in number 8 is the final fight in the Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace. Yes, fight between Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and ObiWan Kenobi. This is a really cool triple fight. Well, it's a handicap match, it's 2-on-1, but it's still a really cool fight sequence. This is the first time we actually got to see really cool choreography. Then they got overly choreographed. Like, the choreography was too good in the later films and stuff, and I actually really enjoyed the Anakin Obi-Wan fight in Revenge of the Sith, but then it got too choreographed, and I'm like, okay, then they're swinging like freaking Tarzan and shit. Like, okay, like you lost me. But this one was really cool. I love that, like, there's like little subtleties with the fight. Like, there's a scene when like Obi-Wan fakes Darth Maul out and stuff, and Qui-Gon hits him. My favorite part of the sequence is when like the red lasers come and they block all 3 of them, and they're all in 3 different paths. And they're basically all just staring at each other. And without any dialogue, you know which character is which. Let's just say you, like, just stumble upon the movie and you're watching this scene. This scene alone, you know who the bad guy is, you know who the Padawan is, and you know who the Master is. Because it's such a great representation of all these characters. Like, during the scene when the lasers are up, Darth Maul's just looking angry and pissed off and just, he wants to like run at Qui-Gon and just like rip his head off. Like you can tell he is just such an evil villain. And then Qui-Gon is he's so quiet, he's so calm and subdued. He just like sits there and meditates until the lasers come up. And then you just see Obi-Wan in the back looking pretty scared and very nervous, and he doesn't know what's about to happen. And it's just a great representation of what a Padawan is, because yes, he's still a Jedi Knight, but he's still not fully trained, and he still experiences a lot of fear and stuff. And we get the tragic death of Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan kicking Darth Maul's ass, which is, I guess, okay. And then Darth Maul dies in the stupidest fucking way possible. I hated that. It's so dumb. But the fight alone is a cool fight, and it's a pretty cool scene, and yeah, I do enjoy it. Coming number 7 is the worlds. All the worlds, the planets and everything, what the prequels did, with the designs of the planets and stuff, is really cool. It's really interesting, it's very neat, and what they do with CGI like this is cool. The monsters can be it'd be very dated. Like, look at Jar Jar Binks. Like, that's some dated shit right there. But, like, the planets like Naboo and Coruscant, the Mustafar system, Utapau, Camino, Geonosis, they all look fantastic, because the worlds are really cool, and you feel like you're in this other galaxy and stuff, and you're experiencing these different planets and stuff, and they're just really nice. They're really neat and just cool to look at. Coming number 6 is the death of the Separatists in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. This scene is a cool scene. I love this scene when Anakin kills all the Separatists. I think this is a cool way of showing how evil Anakin's becoming. They do show that when he kills the younglings. I think that's ridiculous. Why? Like, you don't just go 1 to 1,000,000. Like, that's really stupid. Like, I don't get why they made him kill younglings. I don't think he ever would. I think that's stupid. However, him killing the Separatists makes sense, because the Separatists are evil. They're not good people. So it makes sense why Anakin would kill them cold blood. And it's a really intimidating scene. Like, Anakin doesn't say anything. When Hayden Christensen just says nothing, he's actually can be pretty intimidating. Like, when he, like, enters the room, he's got the hood on, they're like, "Welcome, Lord Vader," and he just, like, shuts the doors with the Force, and he just, like, kills them, and it's so brutal, and, like, one of them's cowering, he's like, "He promised us peace," then he just goes, and he just, like, lasers him in the chest. It's, like, it's such a brutal scene, but it's a really cool scene. It really shows you, like, just how twisted Anakin became, and yeah, I really dig the scene. I think it's cool. Coming number 5 is Obi-Wan versus Jango Fett, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack the Clones. It's very hard for me to pick a scene from Attack the Clones that I actually like, because I think this is a really bad movie. But this is a cool scene. It's a very short fight. The space battle fight's kind of boring, but I like the fight when Obi-Wan fights Jango Fett. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's very funny. It feels very Star Wars. Like, he's, like, shooting torpedoes. It's just a really cool hand-to-hand combat scene. It's not overly stylized. It's not overly choreographed. And there's even some funny scenes when he, like ties his hands and he kicks them down. Then Obi's like, "Oh, not good." Shit, he, like, falls down and stuff. It's actually just an entertaining scene. It's a very short scene. It only lasts, like, a minute and a half, but it's still fun. Coming number 4 is Qui-Gon Jinn's character. I really enjoy Qui-Gon Jinn. I think he's a cool character. I think Liam Neeson is a little too bland in the role, but I think he still was a good choice to play him. I just felt like the direction was a little off, and I think his performance was a little stale. But as a character, he is very cool and very interesting, and has a very interesting past, and his relationship with Obi-Wan's really cool. And I like that he is a Jedi Master, but he's not on the Council, because he doesn't agree with the Council, what they stand for sometimes. He challenges Yoda and Mace Windu, and he challenges their beliefs sometimes, and he just challenges, like, why are we doing this, why are we doing that, and stuff. Like Obi-Wan says, they would put you on the Council if you just didn't keep disobeying them. But that's what makes Qui-Gon such a cool character, is the fact that he is his own character, he's his own Jedi, and he follows his own rules, and he's not a bad guy, he's actually a really good guy, but he just doesn't believe that the Jedi Council are always right, and he is right in that matter. And that's why I like Qui-Gon Jinn as a character. I actually really wish, like, if they could make a whole show about him. Like, I know they wanted to make an Obi-Wan movie, and I thought that sounded stupid. Like, we already know everything about Obi-Wan. I'd actually like to see a Qui-Gon Jinn movie, because he's a character that has more of a story, like his story with Dooku, his story about the Jedi and stuff. Like, he's a more fascinating character. And I love Obi-Wan too, but, like, I'll get to him in a second. But Qui-Gon's a really interesting character, and again, I kind of just wanted more of him. Coming number 3 is the Emperor. Yes, Ian McDiarmid. There's a lot of things they do really stupidly with this character, but Ian McDiarmid is so good. He is so over the top ridiculous. It's kind of amazing. It's actually really amazing. That whole fight sequence with him and Mace Windu is so dumb, but it's funny. It's so bad, it's hilarious. It's kind of like one of those hilariously bad scenes. It's just when you're going, ah! It's kind of funny. But like he milks the role of Ian McDiarmid. Like he just milks it to a T. And honestly, the Emperor himself, his entire plan was pretty genius. Like his whole plan of how he takes over the Jedi and kills them all and takes over the Council and takes over the whole Senate, his plan was brilliant. Like, you gotta admit, that's a pretty cool and maniacal plan, and it's pretty great and stuff, so you gotta give him that. Coming in number 2 is the final confrontation of ObiWan and Anakin. Yes, like I said, I was gonna go with the fight sequence between ObiWan and Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, but I think it goes on for too long. It's overly stylized. It turns borderline comical in some moments, but the scene right when he says to Anakin, "I have failed you, Anakin. I have failed you." Then Anakin's like, "I should have known the Jedi are planning to take over." Like, I love all of that up until the point Obi-Wan leaves him to die. I think it's a very heart-wrenching scene, and like, yeah, I know a lot of people say it's dumb scene, because like, why would Anakin try to flip over him? Yeah, I believe it just shows you that he was too young. He's cocky, he's arrogant and stuff, and then the scene when he like rips his legs off and just like the scene was just so heart-wrenching. It's mostly thanks to Ian McGregor's brilliant acting. When he's just like, "You were the chosen one. You were said you were to destroy the Sith, not join it. Bring balance to the Force, not live in the darkness." It's just such a great scene. And then he's just like, "You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you." Just like, you feel so bad for Obi-Wan in this scene. And then watching him burn alive and just leaving him to die. And I know a lot of people even say, like, why would he just leave him there? Why would he just kill him and stuff? The reason is, he knows Anakin needs to suffer a little bit. He killed younglings, so I feel like Obi-Wan is like, this is like his karma. Like, I'm gonna just leave him to die. And he has the courage to finish the job because it's still his best friend. But he's like, he killed younglings, so I'm gonna leave him to die there. But sadly, the Emperor comes and takes him away. But still, that whole confrontation with him and Obi-Wan is very heartbreaking, and just, I think it's a really good scene. And my number 1 favorite thing about the Star Wars prequels is Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. It's easily, I think that's everyone's favorite. I think that was perfect casting, and I think he did a great job. I think everything with Obi-Wan in the prequels is done right. I wouldn't change a single thing. I think it's done very, very well. The only thing I would change is his relationship with Anakin. But I think that's more of Anakin's wrong, because Anakin's kind of a brat and just kind of an asshole and stuff, so like he just never listens to Obi-Wan, and I really wish the relationship was better. It's better in the Clone Wars, watch the Clone Wars, but yeah, everything about Obi-Wan's great, so yeah, Obi-Wan is the best thing in the prequels. So yeah, that's my top 10 best things in the Star Wars prequels, so look forward to the next one when I do the top 10 worst things in the Disney Star Wars movies, so that'll be interesting. So in the comment section below, please tell me, just agree with this top 10 list. If not, give me your guys' top 10, top 5, whatever, top whatever. What are your favorite things about the Star Wars prequels? Whether you hate them or you love them. Comment below, let me know. As always, if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.